something to put over your eyes. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I didn't think that I was going to see them, and then something hit me in my eye pro, and I went, oh, okay.
Hello, hello, welcome back. How's everybody doing today in this fine day in hell? You know the difference between Minecraft hardcore and living in America? Hey, Minecraft might be mean, but there's at least a few nice mobs to deal with. I'm digging a little there, y'all. I'm sorry, it's been a rough fucking week. Okay, what do we have to talk about? I got a few things to talk about with you, so I ask you to please be patient as I rifle through the news items. Okay. One, in money-wise from Yahoo News, so take the source as it's credited. Though I have heard about this, slumlords is a whole ass thing. Whether or not this story is credible, it's Yahoo News, y'all. They also said the election was stolen, not stolen, faked, not faked, and Trump is definitely the president, not the president. So, take it as it is, it's a Fox News source. It's for news entertainment. But the headline, as I come to a safe spot for a minute so I can go light up something and read this to you. No water, no ceiling, no power. Detroit says Florida landlord in city's largest ever lawsuit of its kind. Okay. Thank you, Yahoo, for not using proper punctuation or lack of glasses for not seeing it. Let's try that again. No water, no ceiling, no power. Detroit sues Florida landlord in city's largest ever lawsuit of its kind. Well, right off the bat, y'all know what my main bitch is going to be, right? Why is this landlord in Crocodile Country, or Alligator Alley, why are they renting out property on literally the opposite side of the country? Again, y'all, I stand firm. If you can't walk from your home to the property you are renting to someone, well, honey boo, you shouldn't be renting that property. How the fuck do you know what's going on that property? I mean, how do you know legally what's going on? How do you know, like, really what's going on? Oh, I put up cameras. Okay, and I've looked at my used-to-be home through a camera 100 times. It doesn't tell me shit other than who's there and who's not. Through my camera, I saw Frank the Hobo break someone into my house, or bring them in, and basically swap all the locks on the house while I was gone. This is while he's paying zero at all, rent, realty, anything. He just moved in there because my uncle told him to. And, again, I called the cops as any good citizen would. Unfortunately, my uncle being a direct family member and having ties to the family, and the fact that he was a descendant of the actual owner of the house and had played the game for years to make it to where we're still fighting for that fucker in court. But, yeah, just moved Frank the Hobo in. Had video footage, had everything else, and it meant dick. You wanna know what would have been different? If I'd been able to leave where I was at and walk over there and been like, hey, fucko, what the fuck you doing? Well, I'm a locksmith from city such and such. Pull out my phone, take his picture, start taking video. Okay, no problem. Hey, you know that dude doesn't live here, right? Like, the church moved him in. A different church than anywhere around here moved him in. It's basically, you know. Would it have made a difference? Probably not. Maybe, though. I know most contractors that are, like, contractors. If you come out there looking proper and you're, like, honest and upfront and not rude with them, yeah, they'll listen. They're people. Like any people, they're paid to do a job. If you can match the price of their job, which if it's from the church, it's free, yeah, you can basically get them to fuck off for a little bit. But that's the thing. It's a matter of environment. It's a matter of people. And I personally am highly against, again, some jackass in Florida owning property in Detroit. Now, again, you live in Florida and you want to own a sunny little part of Georgia? Fuck yeah, why not? I mean, again, it's a bit of a drive, but you can go physically check on your property within 24 hours without the need to board a plane or anything like that. You can get on a Greyhound bus ticket, or Greyhound bus, and within 24 hours be at your Georgia home if you live in Florida. And pending, of course, hurricanes and all that other crazy shit. But you can't tell me there's any way in hell that someone from Detroit, or from Florida could easily, not like, you know, gonna cost you $4,000, not like you can, hey, landlord, your place is getting burnt down. We can't really get it out. We need you to come cut this. Okay, I'll be there in 24 hours or less. Can you do that? Because if the answer is no, then you should not be the landowner of that property. You shouldn't have shit to do with that property. Well, what if it was their family home in Detroit? Okay, I feel you. So why aren't they still living in it? Because they wanted to move to Florida. Okay, get less attached to physical fucking property, you goddamn vampire. Okay, you sell the property in Detroit, work a caveat in with whoever you're selling to that hopefully when you come back in the next few years, you can buy your property back at the same roundabout value you paid for it. Now again, maybe I'm just being too oopsie-poopsie old school with people, but it's like, I would make that deal. I have made, well, I didn't make that deal per se. My first family group, we were kind of a commune, but it was, God, you know what's bad is it was the worst. It's one of those Dickens moments. It was the worst of times. It was the fucking best of times. I've never had a freedom like I had then, and I would never ever want it again. But it was, okay, I had gotten married, I was young as shit, fresh out of high school, moved up to Illinois, moved up to Indiana at that point, got my first real job at the Walmart in Indiana, hated every fucking second of that. Meanwhile, my wife, because we were still on that trad wife, I'm Southern, we were stupid and church-fed bullshit, so she was at the apartment with her mother, who we lived with all the time, just I made buttons. But with her ma helping help keep the apartment up, helping to do things, and more importantly, hunting for me a secondary and possibly a third job. That way I could basically maintain the bills on my own. Just stick it somewhere and we'll stick it somewhere and question it why we did it later. I can't stick it on you, I can't stick it on you. Ha! Stick it there. Now. But I moved up to Illinois. Illinois I did a lot of shit in, but we had moved up to Indiana. It flopped out. Me and her mother couldn't get along because her mother was old school. If they don't respect the Bible and Jesus, and if they dare make a joke about it, beat them with sticks. And I was much more of a, hey y'all, God will sort it out. He's all powerful, right? How can someone be all powerful but want the scum beneath his shoes to fix things? Fuck all that. I was not a good person. I was learning. I was a baby person at that time. I am sorry for any harm I did and my misgivings, but you know, we move forward, we move on. That's why I'm here. Sometimes embarrassing what did you do? My dogs just came running around the corner, the little one getting chased by the big one. The only time he does this is when he has pissed off his big sister. What'd you do? What'd you do? Mm-hmm. He's a good sheeple. Come here. Oh! Bubba. Either way, caveat and hard on the story. What else? Where'd my pen go? Did I draw? I heard some... It was the phone that I heard hitting the floor. Either way. Went up to Indiana and started working at Walmart. Wasn't a very fun time. Went from being in the country city of New Harley area to in the city of Indiana near the Speedway and it was a horse track. I think it was, we were next door to the Kentucky Derby. Though we were about 30 minutes away next door. Either way. Picked up my first real bad habit, because I'd always smoked a little bit of weed here and there in high school, because, you know, even at that time I was dealing with voices, but due to dipshittery in the South, I was taught that was the voice of God. Then I had to question, okay, but why does God keep telling me to do such horrible, unspeakable things? Hot tip, because it wasn't the voice of God, it was a chemical imbalance in my brain. But working that out as best I could. I couldn't exactly smoke weed around my very prudish now mother-in-law. We got married at the courthouse, and when I say this woman hated me and hated us, she hummed and happily did the whole death march thing. The dun dun, or no, what was it? She didn't do the Here Comes the Bride as I had thought she was doing. She was doing a death march hum. And I mean, I kind of get it from the perspective of, nah, we were never meant to last. But it was still rude as fuck, yo. Either way. We get home. The apartment starts to become too small quickly because Judith was a very, very interesting figure. Now I'll say this, she was the type of old bat that always had her shit tight. She always came out with that stupid bouffant hairdo. She always was dressed to at least be dressed. Or she was wearing robes like a fucking golden girl. I hated that part because it was something in my mind that always humanized her, even when she was saying the most unspeakable heinous things. This woman, to make you hate her as much as I hate her, this woman would never fix her animals because God intended for your animals to be wild and unneutered. But she would also do the southern thing of drowning cats in a sack. I'm not going to go any further into that because it starts to make my stomach turn, the fact that I shared space with someone like this. But she would frequently, like, she released at least 4 of Madeline's cats because they pooped in the wrong spot twice. Well, if they'll do it twice, they'll do it 1,000 times. You can't have a house full of cat shit. And she would just drop a kitten on a barnyard somewhere. Or drop them in the middle of the woods and then tell Madeline, who was, of course, distraught and crying because everyone would tell, oh, honey, that's just killing a cat with extra steps. No, honey, Jesus will look after that kitten. Really? Yes, honey, Jesus will look out for him. Jesus was, in fact, the name of the owl up in the tree. His name is Jesus. He prefers to be called Jesus. But, yeah, no, it was a horrible, horrible thing. And part of the thing that keeps me from being that horrible of a person, I don't let it go. I should, probably, but, y'all, for real, I helped a woman kill a cat in such a horrible fucking way that I don't know how to process it. And she did this a few times. Only the once did I ride with her and try to beseech her to take it to the Humane Society, but no, those assholes are just going to make me pay $5 or $20. This is better. Godle it. And trying to explain to a woman who basically, I guess, let herself be... I'm not going to go into Judith's past. She's dead and I don't know enough about her. I just know that she was a bit of a bigot and she believed that Jesus condoned every bit of her tiny bits of bigotry. Now, she wasn't a bigot like she'd have the balls to say it to someone's face. She was a bigot in the sense that she didn't really have many black friends even in the church. And very much, she didn't like those people's music. She was that kind of old school. And she was proud of it until, you brought it up in front of people. Then she'd do that southern, well, this entire diatribe is to say she is the type of person who would say it's a good idea for actually, I think even she would draw the line and go, nobody in Detroit should own property in Florida, nobody in Florida should own property in Detroit. If you cannot feasibly get to your land that you are renting, now again, the caveat is if you're like in a desolate area or like you bought a ghost town or you're working on your place, that's totally different. Hello, random viewer. Didn't notice you there. Welcome to the early morning wind-up. We're going through a few little news articles, and I'm sort of giving you my corn-fed, homespun kind of wisdom on it. I'm from Harley, Georgia, by the way. Georgia being in the United States of North America, not being Georgia as in the Danish? I don't know where the other Georgia is. I do my best to keep up with current shit. I don't have time to learn about places I will never, ever, ever, ever be able to go or afford to go. Not to say those aren't beautiful places. I've seen the flag of the other Georgia, and it's better than ours is, possibly. But yeah, basically this tenant had lived in a house for 16 years with a hole developing in the roof, paying rent regularly, and she stopped paying for 2 weeks because she called the landlord at least, according to the report, a dozen times, and the landlord either didn't respond or said, "Oh, but I sent repair people there, you must have just missed them." This being an old retiree, no they didn't. The landlord from Florida was lying. I know, shock. But yeah, basically the cops detained her. She's been removed from her home, and all of the citizens that were tenants in this Florida-owned apartment are suing. Again, it's Yahoo News, so there's a lot of puff, not a lot of meat to this story, I find. It's a very undercooked pastry, but it is very, not going to say entertaining. It's very engaging, I'll say. It's a clickbait, I believe, is what the youth would say 5 years ago. I don't know what kids are into. And I hope I don't have to go break up a cat fight. Shifu, please stop trying to help. Okay, let's see. That was the first article down. Metro area is now a buyer's market for those who can afford it, meaning if you've already gone ahead and bought yourself 3 or 4 of the local fast food chains that you neglect to take care of and you want to expand your business even further, Atlanta has good prices if you're rich. Granted, you're also going to have to get behind gentrifying areas that actually have culture and have things. So, want to tear up some good culture and some good people's lives for no reason other than your own capitalist pig dog greed? Come on down to Atlanta, friends. Or, counteroffer here for the real ones amongst us. How about everyone who rents in Atlanta start trying to find places outside of Atlanta to rent? Or, know who your landlords are to where it's like, you know the person that's rented, the building is owned by the people in the building. That kind of thing. And if you can't fit into one of those, let's try our best to just avoid the big governments, I'll say, even though it's not the governments, especially not anymore, but the big regulated companies own buildings. Don't go for Walmart's secondary names apartment complex. Give me a second. Shifu, you jump down and run off. Why you won't back up again? Come on, upseas. Up. Don't make me drop the remote. Thank you. Grab that. Okay. Shit. What am I doing? Where's my... There. Put the steak down. Put the steak down, Buffy. Ain't no need for it here yet. Actually, fuck it. Maybe there is. I can eat one of them and refill those hearts. Or those tiny meat sticks. Yeah, I know what the... I always thought that was an energy bar, and it kinda is, but it's more of just a hunger meter. I'm explaining Minecraft like y'all don't know what it is. Let's see, where'd my phone go? What's the other news story we got to cover? Before I head outside to do some real gathering. Also, we're almost halfway to the halfway mark, so letting y'all know that. Oh, I got rid of all my articles. Shite. Let's see. Just the headlines here from Fox 5. Homeowners are falling behind on mortgage payments in these states. Betcha they're all red states. Okay, fun. MPRA now about to pop up whether they've been defunded because, by the way, oh, that was something I posted in the community. If you get the chance, go check out, I wish I had his name, it's posted in the community tab. But here soon, the fun Are We Gonna Live Through the Apocalypse survival guide guy. He does a lot of what to do if you come across a EMP, what to do if you come across a dirty bomb, what to do if you get stabbed, what to do if you... Lots of what to do in situations you don't want to be in, but if you're ever in, boy howdy would it be handy to know what to do. And he is about to, since they've cut all the funding to PBS and all those organizations, he is about to start a fun channel for kids and adults alike on... Yay! This is a technique. But he's about to start a fun little channel on survival skills and stuff like that. for kids specifically. The pictures that I shared on the community tab are, he's actually building a full-on little set and all. I hope he does good work. He looks like he's seen some hard days recently, but being a proper EMT, I'm sure he probably has. Supposed to be slightly cooler today here in Georgia, at least, thankfully, and I hope everyone enjoys it, because we're also going to go right back into that heat spike, and it's also going to be a wet, cool day, so don't neglect to keep you know, make sure you cool down at proper time so as not to get a heat stroke or heat exhaustion. Remember, heat exhaustion sets in long before heat stroke and can be just as damaging. Unlike frostbite and hypothermia, you can only fight the effects of once you're out of it. Using the fan will trick your brain, but your body's still boiling. Make sure to know that and plan accordingly. Ice packs actually work. A hot tip that I use, check out Chilean cave divers and the folks that work in the Cave of Crystals. Their outfits, while you should not need anything that excessive yet for the outdoors, it would be a handy thing to have if you are working outside or something. Basically, get you a shirt, stitch you several dozen ice packs into it, freeze your shirt overnight, and then it basically acts almost like a weighted, or it'll probably feel like a cold weighted vest or a bulletproof vest. Please, for the love of fuck, don't try to think of it as armor. It's not, but it will protect you against the heat. Now, the other thing you'll need to take into account as that shirt thaws, much like the workers in those mines and such, you'll need to take that into account as well. At some point, you'll have to lose the shirt, so make sure you have something to change into, as well as something to put your shirt in, because it's a little bit of an expensive make, even if you do it on the cheap side. You're really going to want to, ideally, if you've got the chops to do it, I don't have those chops yet, but if you have those chops, possibly a cosplayer, if you've got the chops to sew pockets onto a shirt or a vest and put ice packs in those, because remember, that the big thing about hyperthermia, your extremities can take as much damage as they need. If you start to get skin discoloration from a sunburn, that's more of a worry. But as far as like chilling the body out, you can, again, trick the mind by putting cold air across your wrists. But it'll be a trick. It's like a mirage. It'll make you feel good, but it won't help you. Like a ChatGPT girlfriend or boyfriend. It'll make you feel good, but it is not going to help you in any way. So try to avoid it if you can, but again, desperate times, desperate measures. Always, folks, take your safety into account, especially in my country, because we don't take our own safety into account, please. I walk past potholes that if I fall into, I drop to my head, and the most safety they started doing before I started filming every day was to put a tiny cone up about 5 miles back because some kid thought it'd be fun to move it. So like I said, take your own safety into account here because you will need to. Oh, I realize I lose people over a Mary bash, and I don't care. I don't. America is one of those countries that, much like Britain and the UK, we do some stuff really good, or at least we used to. Nowadays, I'm really here to break that I'm proud to be an American. Because why? That's all, just why. If you're a proud American, drop in the chat why. And if it's stupid, be prepared to get burnt. But if you got a real one, I mean, I can't mock some things. If you give me serious shit, I'm not going to mock that. But if you come down there, well, I'm proud to be an American because I'm free to say what I want. Oh, are you? Because Stephen Colbert just lost his stupid little show that I hated because he dared to call out Dare Leader. You're not free speech here. You can pretend that you are. I mean, it seems like people sharing essay and stuff like that are free here because, you know, everybody done forgot about Epstein and all that. Now some of the right wing are even so far gone, they're going, Well, if he released the files, he knows that he'd put a target on his back. Why would he do that? Because he's the goddamn president. Because that's the literal highest office in the goddamn land. He's supposed to be the absolute teeter-top best of us. I know that that's a fucking joke, but I mean, real talk. Our president, our leader, is meant to be us. That's meant to be, you should be proud. And I just don't see how anyone could be proud looking at our current leadership. Or the leadership for the past few years, to be honest. But definitely not now. Like I said, y'all, it's more about accountability, owning what's around you. And, like I said, just working together above all else. How can I be so arrogant? Well, simple fact is, even though I'm not doing anything more than throwing a single starfish back into the ocean at a time, I'm still trying my best to make a difference for that one, and that one, and that one. The problem is that I haven't been broadcasting it because, again, Mother taught to never, when you do a good deed, don't do it with the hopes or the will or the joy of getting seen doing it. Do it because it's good to do. So for years, if you're curious, Cartersvillians, fine, fuck it, I am Iron Man. If you found an Ingalls brand sandwich with a disposable ice pack sitting near the library, particularly the Cartersville Library, with no note, no information, just a food item that is set to not perish, and you stole that, no you didn't. I left that for you. I left it for anyone who needed a sandwich that day. I had bought 2. If you found a bottle still sealed with water in it, I did that. I left that for anyone who wants it. The only reason I didn't leave notes at the time, 1, most of my fellow fucking Georgians can't goddamn read. 2, most of my fellow Georgians can't fucking read. Also, people tend to tamper with shit that's left there out of kindness. I don't know why it's the thing that we do, but we do it. And for the record, I'm not tooting my own horn there. It's just, y'all, it's easy to be good. The trick is to do things that you wish somebody had done for you when you was hurting. Because again, a sandwich ain't gonna hurt none. Also, if you're one of the many people who, either after a drunken night of depravity, or a long hike across states, or you're just unhoused and needed a place to crash, if you woke up with an Ingalls brand sandwich next to you, that was probably me. Both practicing my stealth skill as well as... Because, y'all, I've been prepared for this shit for years. I haven't been able to prepare because I lived previously with jackasses that literally took preparing as being dumb and woke and gay. And, y'all, preparedness is something we should all be doing. I'm not saying buy the slop buckets. In fact, I'm saying the exact opposite. Don't. Buy dried goods. Rice, beans... Things like this keep for a very, very long time. And trust, yeah, it's nasty. It's not going to taste good for a while. You're going to have to learn how to fucking cook. I'm sorry. There's no getting around it, folks. If you want good food and you don't want to pay $10 per sandwich, you're going to have to learn how to fucking cook. It's not easy all the time, but once you get into the swing of things, it gets pretty easy, y'all. It really is just learning how to read and follow instructions. Outside of that, what I've always done is, well, wild magic, similar to my hair. I went and watched about 2 to 3 hours worth of hair Buddha videos, got a super special interest, and said, hey, if my mother could do it and she put food on her table for years, I can do it for myself. And if it don't look good, fuck it, it's better than anything store-bought. That's a point of pride you gotta make if you're gonna try to do this solar punk thing, which admittedly not my name brand. I'm just doing my best to go with it, you know? Let me check the time. We're about to the time where I'm gonna need to get going. Come here, little trick. Down you go. I need to grab a book right quick, because there's an... Oh, is there a hole in this goddamn pocket? Okay. No. No. It's out of the kids and comic and I don't think my library has a yaoi section. If they did, I would be there. I would so be there. My favorite yaoi manga is Yellow. Take that as you will. I haven't read manga or anything in a while, but I used to be a proud subscriber to Shonen Jump. It was one of my first and one of the hardest things I ever canceled. But moving on. This is from This is from Gorilla Green, an urban gardening survival guide. One second. I don't have very good lighting, and I have a cat that just does not want to be out of my lap. Let's see. Gorilla Green, an urban gardening survival guide. Cookie Kakar and Ophelia Dombre. They're both French, I believe, so don't judge me. I can't speak French. I would love to learn. Would you please get out of my mouth? Yes, I'm getting loud. I love you, child, but you are getting in my fucking mouth. This kitten is wanting attention so bad she's marking my chin. And then as I'm trying to talk, she's sticking her head in my fucking mouth. Okay, back to it, Lee. Get down. I'm going to... You can stay in my lap, Navi, but get... Hey, listen. That's why I named you Navi. Hey, listen. Thank you. The other big behavioral change we need to make is to stop wiping out all the urban animals just for the petty sake of for our comfort. Okay, waste them all except the cute ones. Got it. Bees sting, torch 'em. Frogs reek little old amphibians. Fry 'em. Oh, right, the birds. Wake 'em up too early when I'm hungover. Slaughter 'em all. As you command, Empress. That's kind of the attitude we've been having. And I can say that from a kitchen's perspective because, again, am I going to be let's toss that into a safer spot. Am I going to be cooking your food with Remy the rat working next to me? I'd rather not, no. But does it matter that a mouse pitters across some things in the middle of the night? We have to clean it when we come in, ideally anyway. I say we rebuild a system to make it better suited for the environment rather than stupidity and capitalism. Here's the thing. You hire an entire extra crew. You force businesses to hire an entire extra crew. That's the other part of this you're going to have to accept, and I hate that we have to do this, but y'all, Chick-fil-A gets high praises, and they're a fucking company that funds hate groups. Why do they get high praises? Well, they treat their employees so good. No, they don't. No, they really don't. If you go to... Here's something fun if you really want to hurt a bunch of people. Go to Chick-fil-A and just start telling them, no, that waitstaff was rude. And don't be, like, giving any real detail outside of just the person you saw that upset you or annoyed you's name. Chick-fil-A will fire that person, no questions asked. If the manager tries to get in the way, the manager will be fired. Chick-fil-A is a highly capitalistic company. And that's not even getting into the hate church they fund or the fucking... Oh, what is it? Because technically they don't, but their CEOs fund it. The variety of conversion camps they fund. There's a reason why the Christians love the Chick-fil-A, and it's not because it's such a good company. They fund hate groups, they fund conversion camps, and if you try to bring this up to most southern folks, they immediately try to hand wave and go, why are you trying to yuck my yum? It's good chicken. It's pickle chicken. Marinate your chicken in a pickle brine, and you've got Chick-fil-A chicken. And ideally, if you make it in a gay household or in a gay way, you've got the better Chick-fil-A chicken. Like I said, y'all, I'm not saying you got to give up your treats. I'm saying you need to make your treats. I mean, before the capitalists started making all the peanut butter poisonous, I and most of the people I know would make our own dog treats for our pets. Both because it was a very cathartic experience in a small hippie way, but also banana bread is also easy to make. But peanut butter bread is very easy to make. And dog treats, you can make that with the leftovers you got after you make your peanut butter bread. Just add a little bit of extra scoop of flour to it, and maybe if you're me and you're a little bit of the bougie side, put in some of the fish powder you got from the H Mart. I don't have any more of it. I think it's called Dansuk or something. I could read it if I had it. But it's a label brand, and it's pretty good. It just gives it a fish flavor. It can turn any soup into a stew. But also, my dogs go absolutely ham for it. So it was good for the cats and the dogs. Maybe a little too salty. But still, I can't really do that anymore because, yeah, whereas before you could just grab store-brand peanut butter, grab store-brand beef, make you some good-ass refrigeratable dog treats. No, because now to cut a corner, they're using a different kind of chemical in the peanut butter to preserve and keep it. And if you give that to your dog, it'll send them into basically, either it won't or it will, but it'll either give them deadly seizures or it won't. Go ahead. Try. I can't do it because the idea of seeing any of my babies writhing on the floor until they're dead, well, that hurts my soul a little if I had one. But again, I feel worse for all the people who did their basic normal routine and lost their pet. Because again, this is capitalist hellscape America. If you lose a child, you might get some payout money once. I mean, let's look at the opioid epidemic that the South is still facing and will probably forever face for my lifetime. And they already did their payout, y'all. The opioid companies paid out like big tobacco. Everyone took it as a win. And anyone else gets addicted to pain pills, well, that's just on you, Skippy. Fuck off. Oh, do you think the victims got the money? Absolutely not. The drug companies and the doctors got the money. The rehab clinics and the various places like that got the money. And let's not forget a very, very healthy scoop for your politician who funded it. That's another reason why I can't be in politics, y'all. I can't do it on a fast food salary, and I refuse to get paid working for the people out of the people's dime. That money should go to various organizations. Right now, the AT, which has had its funding cut wildly, is now having to charge people visitors passes and hiking passes. They used to just be sign-up things so we know how many people's out there, so we know if people don't check in. But no, now they're having to do a whole rental thing just because if they don't, the park will close. Jackasses and tourists will cover the place in toilet paper and there'll be no cleanup crew. Bogs will back up so bad that they explode. I mean, it's the downside to humans, y'all. We're filthy, disgusting creatures. And if you ever look at humans in a large enough group, you'll start to realize, I mean, why do we hate rats and maggots and all these other animals? We're basically the same thing. I mean, we are. We come to an area, we populate wildly, and even though, no, there's no cap on the human population because we can work around it, we destroy, we don't build up. I say we start building up, and you can do it too. The other reason I say do it in the green gorilla way is just because, you know how long I've been shouting at my city to just try to get a sidewalk put in? It's been about 20 years, y'all. It's been about 20 years I've been asking, begging, talking to anyone who can talk about it. 20 years. And yeah, it's still nowhere closer. Why? Because people don't give a shit and I'm one person. If I collect names on a sheet, that'd be great, but nobody will care because it's just names on a sheet. The local politician will throw it out and move on. I've tried that. Hell, I tried that in Job Corps when they first talked about banning smoking cigarettes on the campus, which would effectively make it to where you could only smoke cigarettes at the far gate, which would also make it to where only staff could smoke cigarettes. Because in the Earl C. Clemens Job Corps, only the staff had a vehicle of any kind. Even as a head rec aide, I had to ask like I was a child to get someone to drive me somewhere on the campus. Or, what I did, and what gave me these beautiful legs I've got, I would just walk it, because fuck asking people for help when they ain't gonna help, or they're gonna do it begrudgingly, or they're needed elsewhere. But yeah, y'all, I hope you're feeling fairly wound up. I hope you're having a good day. And I finally got the YouTube studio on, so hopefully I'll start being able to make my content a bit better. I already plan on starting to script soon, but Y'all, the reason I don't script is because I do these literally every single day. My feed is raw, it is real. In fact, very shortly after I end this stream and I get the dog walked again and we do our last look over the house, once I get to JoJo's Market and past, I'm going to start live streaming and walking to work. And y'all, it's sticking in my craw a little bit. One, because I prefer unhoused to homeless, but mostly because, y'all, people call me homeless and I'm just walking in my work uniform. It's like if I wear a belt, I'm homeless, but if I wear my suspenders, I'm spiffy. What the hell's with this with people, man? Well, what's with this? Let's be careful, because I think I keep almost sucking that cute turtle in. Then again, oh no, because if I do that, I need to make a way for them to get out, and if I make a way for them to get out, it opens it up to mobs, so. Also, I've been debating back and forth in my head of making one of these worlds where I don't die. Now that I've got 100 subs, 102 last time I checked, I lost 2 people, y'all. That hurts. But, either way, I was going to take all 100 of my subs, and since I don't have that many that gave me names and faces, I'll build houses starting with all the ones that are actually, like, publicly subscribed, and then I'll start just houses for all the others that are, like, hanging out, lurking on my channel. I love you guys, I just don't know. Let's be clear, I try to do things as best I can to entertain the people that come out for me and all that, you know? So in that spirit, I know that Minecraft videos are my most watched videos. I know that, like, certain ones I do are getting big in the algorithms, others aren't. Like Saints Row, I play for me mostly. I enjoy it, but I mostly play it for me. The Last of Us got some good reviews, but I need a better screen to do that one on, because I have a hard time reading on this screen, especially without my glasses. Because it's like with them I can actually read on the screen a little bit better, but without them the stigmatism just makes it to where I can't fucking read at all. Also, I play on a projector, so that's why. But it does make the screen bigger, and it's going to be an adjustment when I finally have to go back to playing on televisions again. I still have a television, I can't sell it at the moment, and it's got a lot of personal value, because, y'all, when I got that TV, we got it because I needed a bigger television for the house, when I had a house, and the computer store at the time, David was also working, and he had a job and a car. So while we were out at the Rio Brazilian Steakhouse, it sounds so fancy, it's really not. When we last went there, it was very affordably priced for what it was, and it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's like $5 to $7 for the buffet area that had the pastas and the small meats, and then for like an added $10 to $20, you could get the steak section, which is, again, all-you-can-eat fine Brazilian steak. Typically, if it was a special occasion, we'd get steak. Most of the time, we would both get the little buffet, and we'd just enjoy sitting there, people watching and eating our food. I would love to go to Rio again, but I also I don't know if it would still be the same. Because it's a very, we'll say, colorful, ethnic, and diverse group there. And, well, being that we have the fascist king in, I don't know if my favorite little steak eatery would be as diverse. And that makes me a little sad. But, you know, dibba-da-dibba-da-doo, you move on. And sadly, we must be moving on here soon. I'll talk more about the green gorilla and pest movements. I've got a book that I want to read to y'all, but currently it's holding up the PlayStation and separating it from our little box build to where it doesn't overheat, so I can't take that book yet. As soon as I can, I'm going to read Pests, a closer look at the things we call enemies. Because, y'all, here's a fun fact. Did you know that in Vietnam they're using rats to detect and collect ordnances that the American GIs left behind? They're not only doing it in Vietnam, they're doing it in other places too, but it's because rats have a finer attuned sense of smell than dogs, and they can smell the landmines in the ground. That's also why rats rarely detonate the landmines. They can smell them. And these rats, basically trained a little bit by village folks in the area, or townsfolk in the area, I suppose, but these rats are effectively saving the lives of countless human children. Here in America, we're still gluing them down to traps that slowly starve them to death while they're panicked as if stuck in a tar pit that just can't drown them. Two different types of folks. Two different types of solutions. I found that the Americans' knack for violence is what makes us such a dangerous and troublesome neighbor to everyone. Because again, y'all, yeah, it's true. We are a bit of a mad dog. But I like to look past that and see what we could be. And yeah, I bitch, but that's because there's a whole lot to bitch about right now, y'all. And if you're seeking that toxic positivity of, oh, well, tee-hee, we're going to make it, you're not going to get that from me. You're not going to get that from me because, unfortunately, I have the mindset that I see all the ones that didn't get to tee-hee make it. And I weep and mourn for them. But then again, that comes from a man who buried his mother alone on a hillside with naught but the gravekeeper watching over to make sure that I wasn't vandalizing or doing anything uncouth. I and my cell phone buried a woman who literally gave her entire 40 years of her adult life to her family. Because her brother, he's successfully gotten the house, more or less. He's getting a cut of the sale of the house. Her brother, who got a cut of the sale of her house and contributed greatly to her self-ending, couldn't be fucked with to show up. Her nephew, who basically, again, made her life a living hell and tried to terrorize her in every sense, did shit like decapitating squirrels in front of her and shit for funnies, for laughs. Yeah. He didn't choose to show up either, even though they both lived in the house with me. And when I got home from that long ride, I just went into my room and collapsed. I cried. And I realized that with the death of that woman and my grandfather, my father losing his mind, I was truly, truly alone. And instead of letting that feeling devour me completely, or let it define me in a bad way, I've basically made it into my life's work to, you shouldn't have to feel that way, brother or sister. I won't let you feel that way. I'm not coming at you in a sexual way. I'm not coming at you in a boyfriend, tee-hee, girlfriend way. I'm coming at you as a friend. If you feel, especially with, that was the other thing I was going to talk about. The Trevor funding, or the Trevor Project has had its funding massively cut. Y'all, this is normally where I would, where at the end of stream, I would boost my Ko-ffee. Fuck my Ko-ffee. Go to the trevorproject.com. Please, I beg of you. Go to the trevorproject.com. Go to that donate button. If it's a quarter, if it's $1, if it's $100, whatever you can give, give. The kids need it. The world needs it. Y'all, there's an active war going on right now, and I do my best to not let y'all see how it affects me, or to see how it affects the things around us outside of poking fun and having our laughs. But y'all, I am human over here. I do feel. And I also was a queer youth in the South who had no one. I don't think any kid should ever have to feel like that. So again, this is the last time, and I promise not to do this often, but y'all, I'm literally tears in my eyes begging you. If you can spare a few dollars, go to thetrevorproject.com. Help them out. Please. That being said, I promise the walk-in will probably be much more ranty and pissed off because it is already about 80 degrees here in Georgia, and that's a cool start to our morning now. I remember when a cool start was 60. And don't worry, friends, because that pendulum's going to swing like the pirate ship that the Great American Adventure, it's gonna swing all the way to the other side here in just a few months. That's why I'm telling you, don't sit back on those laurels. If you can, be making coal right now. By that I mean making trees. Take and gather you some branches, burn them in a can or something that you can burn in to make a coal product, or get something else, but be stockpiling now while it's cheap. Get you heating elements, get you stuff that you can insulate with, because friends, winter's going to be harsh, and I foresee many nights below 30 degrees. For the record, below 40s when we start to really get fucked up as humans. So, start getting ready now, because do y'all remember during the Trump administration the last time? Texas, I'm not making fun of you here, Texas, but I'm pointing out, y'all just had real bad floods that killed a bunch of little kids. Imagine what it's gonna do when it freezes on y'all in the winter. We do not have NOAA anymore, guys. There's no National Weather Service to give you that alarm. It's us. Check your weather apps regularly. Check your shit. Check up on your people. Make sure everyone understands the truly dangerous time we're living in. Because I think everyone's going to realize it once the next hurricane hits, or the next tidal wave hits. Unless, you know, total media blackout makes it to where Dear Leader removes all those media organizations that are going to talk about it. Well then, friends, we'd be fucked. Then we'd be back to the Pony Express days of I hope you're in touch with your Aunt Ina enough to get information about her from the Midwest. Because all the U.S. is going to say is, there is no hurricanes in U.S. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. To give you a positive note, y'all, Georgia prairies are slowly making their stretch back due to the volatile nature of this current climate we have and the climate crisis we find ourselves embedded in. The burning is coming back. The last 3 storms that passed through here, yesterday was the first time that we got rain that hit the ground immediately. The rest have just been lightning storms. You wanna know what lightning storms bring, friends? Lightning storms bring forest fires. And a lot of dead people. So let's be cautious out there, folks. If you see a lightning storm and you see no water coming down, don't do it. Don't go out in it. I'll do it to show you how stupid it is, but please don't do it. Either way, y'all, be good, watch out for each other, like, check in on a trans or gay person that you care about, because Trevor Project has been cut. It's been cut bad. And check out NPR for that article, though you might also, NPR is going to ask you to donate. For them, I'd say give a couple bucks, because again, remember, freedom dies in the dark. And currently I think Lady Liberty done being gutted by the administration. Let's not let that keep happening. Also remember, if you see a Hispanic person or an immigrant, illegal or otherwise, no you didn't. If you see someone stealing from Walmart or any of the big box stores, no you didn't. Hey, that protester or whoever it was just cracked that ice cunt over the head. No, they didn't. I didn't see shit. That ice dude just fell over. Must be all that weight from his giant, sagging, disgusting man tits. That one felt a little immature. I feel that one. I'm sorry for that insult. But go fuck ICE. Those people can go fuck themselves. A dead ICE agent's a good ICE agent. I said what I said. As for the rest of y'all, be good, endure, and survive. Remember, y'all, it's a wild, wild, dangerous world out there. Let's make sure everyone gets to come home to it. See y'all when I get home, if I get home. This is day 23. Love y'all, and goodbye.